Did you know that Risk of Rain 2's latest DLC has bugs? Shocking, I know. But, yeah, Seekers of the Storm didn't exactly release in a perfectly made state. I think that's well aware. I think most people are well aware of that fact now. And while I do think Gearbox has done a very good job modifying the game and fixing most of the major game-breaking bugs, there is definitely still a lot more that they need to resolve, and that is what this video is for. So, in general, I think one of the bigger problems the DLC introduced was item inheritance with the new items they created. And you can see on the right of the screen right now that I have the artifact of evolution on, and that artifact gives enemies items every stage. This effect also happens if you're going on the Void Fields, or if you're fighting Mithrix in his last phase, he will take your items. Now, the most famous bug that was introduced by the DLC came with the Warped Echo, which ended up making enemies essentially fully invincible if they were given that item. So, I'm sure anyone who wanted to beat Mithrix, or who started an evolution run, and found that their enemies were given Warped Echoes, wasn't exactly feeling too good. But, since that was such a major issue, Gearbox addressed it quickly. And I fear that because they've only seen the major issues, they may have left behind some minor issues. The biggest one is the reason I made this video. So they introduced an item in this DLC called the Bolstering Lantern. Now the description says does extra damage at lower health, and what that means is you will deal 20% more damage when your HP is 50 or lower. So you see my M1 does 13 damage. I'm just going to tank some hits here. Now it does 17 and 18 damage. Now the M1 for Commando does change with range, but you should see we do get a damage boost, and we have that icon at the bottom left of the screen to show us getting that damage buff. And that works all fine and dandy for us. However, you're going to see in a second that when you try to give this item to the enemies, it doesn't exactly work as advertised. Distant Roost, this time, monsters all have the Bolstering Lantern. And what you'd expect for this is a pretty strong buff to every monster you're fighting against. This beetle, or I guess I'll kill this beetle, no one wants to see him. He's too difficult to test data with, as is this guy. I just want a Lemurian, man. Okay, you hit me with a fireball for 12 damage. So does every other Lemurian on this stage. But if I knock him down to 50% HP or below, he should start dealing more damage to me, right? Well, I will show you that that just doesn't happen for some reason. Shoot me. 12 damage. And you may think to yourself, well, it's just a problem with the Lemurians, right? Let's find someone else out here, if these guys would ever stop spawning. They may in fact never stop spawning, and this video will never get made. A Wisp. A normal Wisp hit did 5 damage. How about a Bolstered Wisp? Hit me with 6 or 7, I dare you. 5 damage. Don't look at me like that. So yeah, they just straight up did not add functionality for monsters having this item in this game. I don't know why. I would assume that means that if you're ever going to Mithrix and you get to his final phase and knock him down below 50% HP, he is also going to gain 0 bonus damage for you. So this is a glitch in the player's favor, but a glitch nonetheless, and kind of removes the entire purpose of this item on any given evolution run for enemies, or the entire last phase of Mithrix. It removes this item's entire purpose. So again, not nearly as big of an issue as permanent invincibility, or many of the other weird interactions and problems with this DLC. But I figured I'd point this out so that Gearbox can go ahead and maybe add some functionality to this item. This item, which is possibly one of the few really, like, okay items they added in this DLC. But, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say this video. I just noticed this when I was messing around with Evolution. And, hey, it's bugged. If you want to take advantage of some free Evolution run wins or free Mythic wins, I guess stack 50 of these bolstering lanterns and you'll never get any consequences from it other than needing to stay under 50 health, so you will eventually die from all of the enemies around you. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.